Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Crowning Moment podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, enjoy our entire series today because this will be a recap of the 71st Miss Universe competition. I will include videos and we will look at it live, seeing what happens with the girls that I picked out of each group that I think really bubbled to the top after last night's preliminary competition. If you're listening on any podcasting platforms, check out our YouTube so you can exactly see what I'm talking about from the video content. But if you did watch it last night, you have an idea kind of what I am talking about. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to list out, kind of what happened at the event last night, as well as the swimsuit competition, the evening gown competition, and following that, the costume national competition. That was a lot to put all into one run through of a show, and they didn't really explain that in the beginning. So the hard part was that you didn't know the order of competition. So by the time evening gown was done, I was exhausted. I went to bed, and so today I had to get up and actually watch the competition from last night. And I just picked out who I thought had an amazing national costume because it was really hard to sit through an entire show all over again. But today we're going to go clip by clip of who I thought stood out in each of the groups. So how they broke them out this year was they have 6 different groups. A through V is what they have this year, and it was 14 girls per group. So that leaves us with a total of 84 girls in competition last night. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with the swimsuit preliminary competition, they had the reigning Miss Universe and one of the local New Orleans, I guess she was some sort of TV, news station anchor come and do the show. It was great. They complimented each other. It was a really good group to use for the swimsuit competition. They rolled straight into production with a lot of, promo videos, as well as, getting people excited. And then, of course, they do their who they are, saying their name and their country in the very beginning. A viral video has been going around about Miss France from last year, and it was quite disturbing. To say the least. Here's the clip. Let's watch it. France! That is just too funny. And even my boyfriend, who has no idea anything about pageantry, actually watched this and he goes, "Did you see the girl from last year, Miss France?" And said it exactly like that. I really, my heart goes out to her. Hannah from Alabama in the Miss USA competition had the same thing happen to her on TikTok about a year and a half ago, where people just kind of, memed her Miss Alabama thing, and people were calling themselves like Miss Foyer or Miss Living Room. It was quite hilarious. So after they finished through that part of the intro, they rolled straight into the swimsuit competition. I'm going to play who I thought stood out the most in each group, starting with our first group. If you see me with my phone, this is me going through my notes. I take very detailed notes from competition. I will give you a little look-see. So this is how I normally set it up. I have my Miss Universe topic, and then I go through each group and say yes, no, and things I liked about them. So easily when I'm coming back through to give you guys this recap of the content, you have some sort of similar idea of what I'm talking about and me trying to recall it when I'm like, oh yes, this girl. One of the new things they added to the swimsuit portion of competition this year was a cape. Yes, it was very distracting. However, it showed if the girls were creative or not. And a few things I noticed that a few girls actually have a theme, including Miss USA, Arbany, Gabriel, who I have actually interviewed on the podcast. You're welcome to check that video out as well on my YouTube channel and all podcasting platforms. Let's go ahead and start with that first group. If I'm looking to the right side of my screen, I am watching the clip along with you. The clip will be playing to the up top of the screen, so you can watch along if you're on YouTube. If you're not, you're just going to hear the sound on all podcasting platforms. For our first set, we had Albania through Bulgaria. And my standout in this one was Australia. Let's watch the clip of her walking in swimsuit, and let's talk about some things she did, her mannerisms, and what it looked like during her competition for prelims. Here we have great body. She really did that gym hard, prepping for Miss Universe. I like how she slowly grabbed for it, and she didn't make the cape her entire show. She was the show. That's why I think Australia in this first group really stuck out. Everyone else was great. I had some yeses for people, like Bolivia covered herself in the cape and then opened up, which was a very grand international kind of vibe coming into this. If you've seen Grand International, you know it is a little more exciting, a little more showy, playful, flip the hair, you know, arms wide out. But for Universe, it's a little more reserved. And so I think Australia really killed that with her walk and had such a great body. Going into our second set, the one that just stood out to me the most in this group, this was Cambodia through El Salvador, was Curacao. Let's watch. The slow walkout. Gotta build it. I'm really loving this straight hair. Oh, good cape. I like it. Very creative. She is the moment, the cape is not, and that's the important part here. So that was for our second group. Let's look at our third group. I had Italy as the standout. I have yeses in here, but Italy was just my number one that stood out in both evening gown and in swimsuit. So let's watch that one. She has a great body. I like the one arm hand on hip walk. Again, it's about her, not the cape. Interesting. Okay, I like it. Very girl next door, very comfy, casual, and a good one to end out the group. I really liked her. And another one I'm pointing out in this group is India. I'm really sad I wasn't as impressed with India this year as last year. Last year, India came in and wiped the floor with everyone. It was amazing. This year, not so much. Okay. Fourth set. My standout in this group was Malaysia. Here we go. Hands on hip. Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. Do we see how they said Malaysia and then she opened? That's very grand international, but she killed that. And out of all the swimsuits, I liked hers the best just because how she did the opening. It was very, I'm here, watch me. And it wasn't about her cape yet again. 5 languages? Wow. That's pretty. I'm gonna be honest, these shoes are not my favorite this year. Not my favorite. Okay, so she definitely was my standout for all of swimsuit just because how she walked out on stage. But the other one that was a standout for swimsuit, I have 3 in the next group. We have Peru, Portugal, and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was formerly in Miss USA, I want to say last year or the year before, as Florida USA. So the fact that she turned around and won Puerto Rico is very interesting. So let's watch Peru first. Oh, yes, this was the princesses on the back of her cape. I loved every bit of this. I hated that she had to look back down. Girl, just grab whatever you grab, you grab. So hers says embrace diversity, and it has all sorts of different princesses on the back, and I loved her cape. That was one of my favorite. I don't know. I really wanted to love Philippines, and I know all of my Philippine friends out there on social media watching this are going to be angry with me, but I loved her way better in evening gown. I mean, she's show-stopping, stunning. Not a standout in swimsuit for me for some reason. Maybe it's the cape. I think it's the cape. I absolutely love that. Yes, Portugal. Yes, ma'am. Okay, turn it back around or something. There we go. Yes, hair flip. Yes, queen. All right, last one in this group that I loved. Wait for the hair flip. Oh, yes. Oh, love Puerto Rico. It's the straight hair. It literally looks so shiny, like it's reflective. I don't know what her thing says. B and lit B. I don't know what that means, but okay. Yes, show-stopping, stunning. Stunning. This is the last group I had. South Africa, Ukraine, USA, and Venezuela. I also loved Vietnam, so we'll come back to her. All right, here we go. South Africa.
South Africa. Prior to entering her national
I love her hair. I love it. Good body, very fit, very happy, excited to be there. That's a beautiful cape as well. I like it. She's fun. She's really fun. I like her. Okay, next up, Ukraine. Okay, actually, let's stop on Thailand for a second. Another one I've been really trying to like, and all of my Thailand friends out there are going to be mad at me when I say this, but I don't know what it's the swimsuit that got me. Evening gown, different story. Loved her and Philippines in evening gown. Didn't love them in swimsuit. I think it's just this distracting cape. And she's fun. She's giving Grand International. She's fun, but I don't know. Okay, now we have Ukraine. It's the slow walk for me. I just really love her cape. She may win cape for this one, but swimsuit walk, not there. But I had her on my list because I loved her cape. That was it. The slow walk, it gets me. Okay, next up, USA. Yeah, she has a theme, and I'm all for it. She's stunning, and she really is such an amazing person. I enjoyed doing an interview with her. She was so amazing. If not now, then when? This looks like Mars. Is this what she's giving? I hope so. She's stunning. I can't. Can't. Yes, Arbany. Love you, queen. Next up, Venezuela. Yes. That's pretty as well. A lot going on. All about her. Yes, another one that knows how to work it. Thank you. And let's put Vietnam in here. I don't know what the hands were, but I'm loving it. The ponytail. She looks amazing with a ponytail. Out of all the Asian cultures and girls here, Vietnam. She's my number one for them. All Asian countries, Vietnam. That's it. Okay, so now that we've gone over all the swimsuits that I think were definitely standouts in each group, there was multiples, there were singles. Let me give you my list one more time. So we just saw Australia, Curacao, Italy, Malaysia, Peru, Portugal, Puerto Rico, South Africa, Ukraine, USA, Venezuela, and Vietnam. We also looked at Thailand. I don't know. I think Vietnam outdid Thailand this year so far. Once we get to evening gown, we can see if that shakes it up. But these ones, it's going to be such a difficult going forward with who I think we're seeing. One thing I want to point out definitely about Venezuela, when you watch any person that competes that is from Venezuela, they all look the same. They all do the same hip. They all do the same, they just look the same when they walk. So it's so difficult because that's exactly what you're going to get year after year. Also, I want to give the Miss Universe organization a huge shout out because they actually started on time. And that's something that not many international and national pageants can say, but they started as soon as it hit 8 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time. They were on because they were starting at 7 on Central Time, so it was just right on the dot, and I was so proud of them for doing that because some systems don't know how to do that, and they have got it down. So let's move into the evening gown of competition. It'll be about the same people. There's some that I'll throw in here, but I want to name two things that you're going to see this whole time. Buns and gold dresses. I don't know what it was this year, but it was the year of the buns and the year of the gold dresses. I know every year is a gold dress moment, but it's so difficult. One dress that I do want to point out that really just kind of stood out during the whole thing was any one of them that had a pop collar. And when I'm saying pop collar, they had a collar that popped up on their dress. And that was just such a standout thing this year that I had never seen before done in a evening gown dress. I've seen flat collars, but I've never seen a true pop collar. And that was Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico did it. And let's see who the other one was. Dominican Republic. that was, I mean, pretty good. And so that's who I had for our evening gown set of competitions. I have a few other girls that I pointed out on here as well. But I really like them throwing in the capes for the swimsuit competition. It made it fun, it made it different, but it did show you if someone didn't put in the time for that portion of their competition, if they put more effort into their natural costume or for their body or whatever it was, you have to remember, if you have to have a piece that is judged with you, along with you on stage, you got to put in the effort. Some girls just came with one little line painted on it or a word across the back. I get that may be something to your country or to yourself, but make sure you put effort into your cape. That is what they're judging you along with your swimsuit. So make sure you're adding that in there, and those little details add up. Just throwing that out there. So like I said, for evening gowns, we got buns in gold. Back dresses, back part of the dress that have these fluff arm things that girls like to drop down is a new thing. And gloves. I've never seen more gloves on a stage in 1 year. I know a few years ago when South Africa had the navy gown with the navy gloves, that was the first time I had seen it done on stage, on an international stage, just watching Miss Universe, and that was such a standout moment. I don't mind it. I kind of like the gloves. So let's roll into the evening gown portion, and here are a few that I thought stood out during evening gown. Starting us off, my first one that I really just thought stood out again was Australia. Let's watch. I just love this gown. I couldn't tell if it was silver or gold, but it had the white background to it, or the back skirt on it with the rhinestones coming off of it. Stunning. And she's so fit. Look at those arm muscles. I want arm muscles like that. Wow. Stunning. 10 out of 10. Okay, that was for the first set of girls. The second set, my standouts were Colombia, Curacao, and Dominican Republic. Let's watch. I'm loving this pink on her. Here we go with the buns. Start up the buns.
Make every moment worth it. This 25-year-old business owner is also currently developing her own skincare brand.
Her skin is gorgeous, so I hope she is. That is stunning. I don't know who made this, but they get a 10 out of 10 on this. And one thing I noticed is most of the girls had a really difficult time matching the sheer of a dress to their skin tone. It bothered me, but this Columbia had it. Whoever designed her dress knew what they were doing. This is gorgeous. Next up, we have Curacao. I like this seafoam, again with the bun. The bun. I love it, but the only thing I don't love, the earrings. I wish it would have been more like maybe square earrings, something different that, you know, maybe she lost her earring, I don't know, but I would have done a different pair of earrings. But the gown, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Next up, we have Dominican Republic. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, so this was the pop collar. Oh, yes, and she actually matched her heels to the gown. Snaps for her. This is giving I'm a businesswoman. Ugh, another bun. Love a good bun, though. The only thing I would have to critique here, but it's not that big of a deal, is the earrings don't match the belt. I wish the belt matched the earrings. They're two different stones, but I don't mind it. And the front slit, that's the new thing as well. Add that to the list. I'm loving this, though. That was everything she was giving. Also, another thing I noticed during the evening gown was people were missing their marks. So it looked like it was come from the back, go to the dead center, and then walk to the front of the stage, off the front, and do something. And, you know, you're at Miss Universe. You would think people would catch that by now. They missed it. They missed the mark. All right, third group, my standout was Italy. All right, here we go. This red, oh my goodness, I'm loving it. But this is one that didn't have the correct skin tone. Maybe when they created the gown, she wasn't as tan yet. I don't know what it was. She has a black shoe on. I would switch the black shoe out for either a red shoe or even a nude shoe. But this gown was just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I just love this red gown on her. All right, our next set of 14, we're in the fourth set, and starting with Jamaica. All right, I just love this gown. It's very different and unique. It was yellow and gold. It's just gorgeous. And I like the gold shoe with it. The gold shoe matches perfectly. Yeah, it's more of a yellow gold rather than just a gold. Stunning. Earrings actually match. Thank you, Jamaica. Thank you, Queen. I don't know who made her shoes, but I need those actually in a brushed gold. So if someone knows, please comment below. All right, next one in this group we're looking at is Malaysia. Here we go with Malaysia. Malaysia. It's like silver gold and it's got a sheer and you can see the underwear bottoms. But I liked her headpiece, adding something different with it. She's just gorgeous. Yes, the slow hand. Yes, Queen. She's fun. I just like her because she's fun. Okay, let's look at Mauritius. Okay, this one was this reminded me like old school Miss Universe gown. This lavender, it really compliments her. Again, another bun. I like the bright accent on the front of it. It's just different. It's different. They switched up the colors with this gown. Mauritius. Interesting. Did you know that used to be a French colony? I learned that during the national costume. All right. Oh, Mexico. Yes. We're going to just leave it here and watch this because she is giving. I like this sleeve back skirt, and they have rhinestones on the back of it from the sleeve, which is amazing. She's fun. She's really fun. I like Mexico. Her evening gown was stunning. For sure. Yes, Mexico. I give you claps. She's going to be top 5 easy. All right, in our 5th group, we're looking at Peru, Portugal, and Puerto Rico. Here we go with Miss Peru. I'm loving this red. Another one that the skin tone matches in the front. It's the back that the skin tone doesn't match. Red shoe. Thank you. Thank you. This just fits her perfectly. It just fits her. Peru. She's stunning. Oh my goodness. Okay, next up we have Portugal. Here we go. I'm loving all of these extra beads on it. It just is fun. She's fun. And I like how they slicked her hair back. She's got a high neck, not a pop collar, but a high neck. And I like how the beading comes from the front and then spurts out. Another, just gorgeous. Thank you, Portugal. I really enjoyed the performance. Here we go, Miss Puerto Rico. Pop collar, love it. This gown is very similar to the gown that she won Puerto Rico in. They could have added a split up the front of this, and so it would have been split and split, and I would have loved it too. I just like her with straight hair. She just looks so good with straight hair. Flip the hair. Yes, Queen. She just keeps it fun, cool, calm, collective, and casual. I like it. All right, starting off our last group in evening gown, we have, again, South Africa, Ukraine, USA, Venezuela, and we're going to look at Vietnam in this one as well as Thailand. Thailand had a very interesting gown. When we get to it, we'll talk about it. Here we go. Interesting. Okay. So it's almost like a copper color, and it's got shapes on it. I didn't notice that last night when I was watching prelims, but I love the hair wrap. This is just giving front cover of a magazine vibe. Love it. Earrings match the beading of the neck, match the earrings. Thank you, South Africa. You served. All right, next one we're looking at, we're going to look at Thailand. So for Thailand, I saw a thing. Her gown is made out of bottle tabs. So like when you crack open a nice cold Diet Coke, the tab, that's what her dress is made out of. They talked about how she is the Cinderella of Thailand because she came from rags to riches of being Miss Thailand, which I thought was a really interesting thing that they would say about her. But her family were, I think, they worked in fields or something. Very interesting. But I love the way that her gown was made. It fit her perfectly. Such a good gown. 10 out of 10. Okay, next up we have Ukraine. What I would have done, which I understand the standout of the black, I would have done a white gown, not black. I like incorporating the Ukraine flag and the colors, and I like how she has, I think it's stoned heart. Let's pause right there. Yeah, it's a heart. Like a human heart. Not not like a heart. Not like I love you. Love you. No. That's a heart. That's really cool. But she has the colors coming across her shoulder. I would have done a white gown. This would have looked better on a white gown. It would have. But if you notice, there has been a lot of cheering for Ukraine, which I appreciate. But if you listen when Russia comes up, there's not a sound in that auditorium at all. So, next up we have USA. Okay, she served, and I said what I said. Let's watch it. Come on, Arbany. Give it to us, girl. Open it up. Yes. I love this. This dress, like the pattern of it, remind me of the sequin purses that we all used to carry around in early 2000s. And don't even at me because I know you had one. I know you did. I love the high neck. I love the color. I'm not a fan of her bun. I would have done a regular bun, not a loop bun. And if they were going to do a loop bun, put it a little higher. Next one, Venezuela. Has she been the only green gown this entire time? I think so. I love these sleeves as well. I would have done sheer sleeves, not fabric.
This 23-year-old has lived in 8 different countries and writes a blog called The Conscious Latinas in her spare time.
She has like a glove, but no finger holes. It's like no fingers. It's open. I would have done a different earring. I would have done a green earring that matched. But, oh, Vietnam. Here we go. Let's watch this one. This one is a butterfly gown. Like, legit butterfly. Another one that I wish she would have matched the color to her skin tone. Not just like a nude sheer. Like, it needed to match her skin tone. I love the earrings as well. They match. I like the ponytail on her. It's a good look. The heels, I don't mind. I wish they would also been the rainbow color, just like the butterfly. Supposedly she was on their version of America's Next Top Model, and there was a whole thing, like, about that. It didn't sound good. Like, they were kind of mean to her. It was a whole mess, but very, very interesting. So now that we've seen the evening gown portion of competition, what are your thoughts? Who are you voting for? Comment down below who you think had the best evening gown and evening gown walk at that. What are things that you noticed that I may have missed, or contestants that you're interested in learning more about? Put that down below for us to chat about after this, because I'm going to do another video before finals on Saturday evening. A few things I want to point out from competition. I'm really worried. So if you don't know, there's new ownership of the Miss Universe organization. The new things that are coming out, and Miss U Updates has been posting all about these with different press conferences. However, Thailand, from my sources, is a very neutral country. So the only thing I'm worried about is that, they're not with the idea of war. They don't want to bring politics onto the stage. And so I think there could be two things that happen here. Ukraine wins the whole thing, or Ukraine does not make top. I said what I said. But I'm worried because the girls are going to go and live in Thailand this year. It'll be the first runner-up, second runner-up, and the winner. They will be living in Thailand, which is very cool. I'm excited for that because usually they would live in New York under the Miss Universe and with Miss USA and Teen USA. So I'm worried. I'm really worried because I like Ukraine. I like her a lot. I loved her national costume. It was gorgeous. But I'm really worried about how that's going to come into play. Next, like I said, there was no clapping for Russia. And I understand there's a lot of bad things going on in this world, and the things between Russia and Ukraine are not okay. That is not something. I am not someone that is for war. I'm not for that. But at the end of the day, you don't know what this girl had to go through to get here. You don't know what kind of stuff she's catching backlash for. It's like a cyberbully all over again. But just blatantly, just not clapping for this girl. I feel awful for her. She, has gotten to where she's gotten, but I understand that it's a lot of messy drama going on there, but that's tough. I think at least clapping for her is okay. I don't think not just letting the room go silent while Russia is on stage. It's just uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Venezuela, like I said, always predictable with their walking, with the way that their mannerisms are, very predictable. Also, during the costume competition, the national costume competition, a lot of things that were mentioned were recyclable items, recyclable materials. So I really like how they're throwing that into the conversation of being almost eco-friendly. Thought that was cool. Another thing Miss U Updates talked about is having a reality TV show. So after this year, there has been talks of creating a Miss Universe reality TV show comparing. They said it's not going to be like America's Top Model. It's going to be more like Real Housewives. So that's going to be very hilarious, and I'm very excited for that. All right, let's talk about Miss USA. I've talked to Arbany. I've gotten to know her for my recording process, and she seems like such a great person, and I really like her. I think she did amazing on stage, and she brought the heat at Miss USA. However, that heat kept on going. There has been a lot of controversy and a lot of topics coming up after the Miss USA competition. Was it rigged? Was there favoritism? Who knows what's going on with that? I have no idea. I wasn't there. I wasn't a contestant. You can check it out on TikTok because Miss Montana's got it covered for you. But I think with, people say any publicity is good publicity. With this, for Miss USA, I don't think this publicity is going to be good publicity because I think it's just putting a target on her back. And I hate that for her because she has worked really hard. I love her theme this year. It's like women in space. I love it. It's amazing. However, I just think that this could really hold her back from competition. Pardon the interruption. I figured out what the actual breakdown was for the 71st Miss Universe competition top placements. So we're starting with the top 16, breaking it down to top 5 and then top 3. And don't forget that first runner-up and second runner-up will go with the winner to Thailand and spend the year with her as well. So I would like to go ahead and give you my top 16 picks for the 71st Miss Universe competition. Starting off with Australia, Bolivia, Colombia, Curacao, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Italy, Mexico, Peru, Puerto Rico, Portugal, South Africa, Thailand, USA, Venezuela, and Vietnam. But thank you guys for joining me today. I want to hear more of your thoughts and what you're thinking after the preliminary competition. Comment down below what your thoughts are on who you're cheering for. But guys, you never know what happens in the future, so I guess you'll have to check out next time on another episode of the Crowning Moment podcast. Bye, guys!